Well, it's time to see what's coming out today with our media partner, the Baltimore Banner. The Ravens left tackle Ronnie Stanley has been a mainstay for star quarterback Lamar Jackson, and his best years have been Lamar's best years.
Columnist Kyle Goon here to discuss why the Ravens couldn't risk losing him to free agency. Good morning, Kyle.
Good morning, guys. Great to see you in person.
Yes, we
same
were just
here,
chatting
absolutely.
spring training. Now we're talking about the O's.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, the Ravens.
The other birds.
Right.
it's weird because there's not really games going on for the Orioles or Ravens, but still very busy time for both.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell us, this was big. A lot of folks thought that Ronnie Stanley was going to be gone. You know, the Orioles. I mean, you got me saying
I'm
Orioles.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Ravens couldn't keep him, too much money. He's here.
Yeah, and it's a great thing for the Ravens. I mean, John Harbaugh last week in Indianapolis kind of indicated, I hope this gets done. And you look at Ronnie Stanley's best years. I mean, he had a great year, all-pro year in 2019. Hey, that's a Lamar MVP season.
Yeah.
He has a great year this year, one of the top best tackles in football. And Lamar has what probably should have been an MVP season. So I think there's a correlation between how Ronnie has done, the protection he gives. He's really good at buying time for Lamar Jackson, and it was a really important piece to bring back.
That blind side.
Yeah. And is that why they just didn't want to replace him outright?
Yeah, I mean, it's not a great draft for offensive linemen, or at least not what it was last year. They would have potentially had to move their new draft pick, Roger Rosengarten, over to the other side. And then the market is just flush with guys who aren't as good as Ronnie Stanley. I mean, there are guys going for tons of money right now. If you're going to pay somebody a lot of money, it might as well be the guy you know and who's been in Baltimore for 8 years. So I think they did really well for themselves by locking up Ronnie before free agency even began.
Known commodity. I mean, definitely. So what other decisions do they have to make, before, the season and training camp and all that stuff gets underway?
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see what happens with Ardarius Washington. Obviously, made some great plays at the end of last year in Houston and some plays in the playoffs, and the guy who really stood out. They had to make some decisions on Marcus Williams, who did not have a great season last year, but still has a huge contract. Obviously, there's an NFL investigation going into Justin Tucker.
Yeah.
They got to make a decision on that. And there's a couple of guys, Patrick Ricard, Pancake Pat. Is he going to come back? So they have to make, they already have to replace some guys. They've lost some linebackers. They've lost lineman Patrick McCarry, who it's another reason why you want to bring a veteran back on the offensive line. So they got to draft and they got to get some free agents and replace.
Right. What do you think? Window wide open, window kind of closing. They keep having these really great teams. They only get so far. What do you think about the window?
Oh, I think it's wide open for sure. I mean,
Yes.
when you have
I'm glad you said that.
what I think is the best quarterback in football,
Right.
and he's coming back. I mean, he gives you a chance every year. You got his best blocker. You got one of the best running backs in football. I think they have a chance every year.
Okay,
I
from
like that
Kyle's mouth
answer.
to God's ears.
I like
yes.
that answer.
Thank you, Kyle.
Thank you so much. And if you want to learn more about Kyle's stories, more insights into the Ravens, well, you can head to thebaltimorebanner.com.